Vegeta and Nappa have been defeated. The human Z-Fighters managed to kill Nappa while everyone else worked together to defeat Vegeta and his mighty Oozaru form. With Goku seeing mercy as a true option for those with potential, he spares Vegeta, needing to talk with him about not only his future, but also the Saiyans in general. So, Vegeta is transported to a private Capsule Corp medical facility where he will be nursed back to full health. As time moves on, Goku, Gohan, and Piccolo begin to train together. Chichi still has Gohan studying, and he still wants to study, but he has a passion for fighting that's slowly overtaking his desire to be a scholar. Slowly, but surely. Days became less filled with books and more filled with push-ups. His power was growing, and as it did, Piccolo and Goku both noticed something stirring deep within Gohan, a power unlike any other. They didn't have time to fully explore Gohan's power before Vegeta finally came to his senses and was conscious once again. Goku didn't want to waste any time and immediately goes to Capsule Corp so he can confront Vegeta and find out what they have to do with him. Gohan wants to go with him, but Piccolo grabs his shoulder and shakes his head. There's nothing for them to do now. This is something Goku needs to handle on his own. So the two return to training while they await Goku's return, but Piccolo can't get rid of a bad feeling he has. Goku arrives at Capsule Corp quickly and asks to see Vegeta. Bulma tells him to be careful. Ever since he's woken up, he's been trying to escape. No one has been allowed in the room since he almost knocked a doctor through a wall. Goku can sense that Vegeta isn't back to full strength, so he's sure that Vegeta won't be able to kill him even if he tries. Bulma sighs and opens the door to the room. Before getting into that though, only 20% of the people who watch these videos are subscribed, so make sure you hit that sub button so you never miss another upload. You can always unsub in the future if you change your mind. Vegeta and Goku's eyes meet. The room was made the same way the gravity chamber was. Vegeta probably would be able to destroy it at full power, but even then it wouldn't be easy, especially not with Goku watching him.
Come here to gloat about your victory, Kakarot. Save me the displeasure.
Goku simply shakes his head and says he's just come to talk. Vegeta spits at Goku's feet and says they have nothing to talk about. Goku continues anyway, asking Vegeta if he would be willing to change, stay here on Earth in peace. There have been many enemies that Goku feels he can now call friends, but Vegeta can't help but laughing at the notion. Him, living on this pile of space filth, this planet isn't even worth Frieza's time. And that's when it hits him. Vegeta asks Goku what he knows about the Saiyans, and Goku just tells Vegeta what he heard from Raditz. Vegeta scoffs and tells Goku that the Saiyans were under the rule of an extremely terrifying being before being eradicated by that very ruler. This being is Frieza, someone with unimaginable power. Frieza could even crush them both in an instant, even if they were in their Oozaru forms when facing him. Goku trembles a little at the thought. Part of him wonders just how strong Frieza is, but most of his instincts are telling him to stay far away. Goku asks Vegeta what's the point of telling him all this, and Vegeta says that he's made a grave mistake. Odds are Frieza was monitoring his scouter, which means he's aware of the Dragon Balls. Goku can't believe it, and Vegeta asks if they have any way to find out if ships are heading towards Earth. Bulma just shrugs from the other side of the door's window. This isn't good. Then, Goku remembers King Kai was able to track the Saiyans on their way to Earth. He tells Vegeta he has an idea and flies to Kami's lookout to see if there's a way they can contact King Kai from the living realm. Kami suggests he could try his own telepathy, but he's never tried to reach someone so far away. Eventually, Kami is able to reach King Kai, who telepathically connects to Goku after being told he wants to speak to him. Goku immediately asks King Kai if he knows where Frieza currently is. King Kai is terrified hearing Frieza's name and tells Goku this must be serious if Frieza's involved, so he'll check it out. That's when King Kai sees Frieza is very close to landing on Namek. Goku breathes a sigh of relief that Frieza doesn't know about the Dragon Balls, but King Kai tells him he's wrong. Namek is the home planet of the Namekians. the race that Piccolo and Kami are a part of. Goku immediately understands. Frieza is going to use the Namekian Dragon Balls to make whatever wish he wants, possibly immortality. Goku returns to Capsule Corp as quickly as possible and rushes into Vegeta's room, where he yells at Goku for taking too long. Goku's panic tells Vegeta that it wasn't good news, so he tells him to spit it out. How close is Frieza? Goku tells him that the problem is far worse than that. Frieza is about to reach planet Namek. Vegeta's eyes widen. Of course, the Namekians would have their own set of Dragon Balls. Vegeta tells Goku that one of them will have to become immortal and then head to Namek in order to beat Frieza before he can make his wish. Goku looks down at the ground and tells Vegeta that even if he wanted to become immortal, he can't. The Dragon Balls are currently turned to stone because they were used to revive Yamcha. Goku snaps back that Vegeta is the one who killed Yamcha, so it's actually his fault. And he's not even sure how they get to planet Namek even if they were immortal. Bulma steps into the room and tells Goku that they reverse-engineered Vegeta and Nappa's ships after the battle. The ship isn't done yet, but if they have no choice, they can speed up the process. Goku says that's great, but they'd have to get stronger before getting to Namek. That's when he remembers King Kai's planet. He asks Bulma if they can include an artificial gravity chamber on the ship and a space big enough for them to train on the journey. Vegeta smiles and understands. With intense artificial gravity training, their Saiyan bodies will adjust to the gravity in no time, becoming immensely stronger as they do. Goku tells Vegeta that if he plans on betraying them, he'll stop him right away. Vegeta laughs and says that for now, they have a common goal, but don't expect this to last. Goku flies back to Mount Paozu, where he tells Piccolo and Gohan everything. They decide that only the four of them will make the journey to Namek because without a bigger ship, anyone else would just be overcrowding. With Bulma and Dr. Briefs working on the ship, it's finished much faster than the original story, so they are able to leave for Namek a few days before Goku did in the original story. Since Vegeta hasn't been on Namek interfering with Frieza's plans, but the Scouters were still destroyed by Elder Mori, they won't have to deal with the Ginyu Force bringing new Scouters, since Frieza doesn't have his premonition caused by Vegeta, so ordinary foot soldiers can handle the task of bringing the Scouters. Now, the stage is set for the dramatic battle to begin. When the Capsule Corp ship lands on Namek, the four emerge from the ship, suppressing their power in order to avoid detection from the Scouters that Vegeta had warned them about. Gohan has the Dragon Radar from Bulma and can see a few of the Dragon Balls are all grouped up already. Vegeta supposes that those are the ones Frieza has managed to collect so far. Piccolo says they'd at least need to get one to stop Frieza from getting his wish, so they head to the nearest Dragon Ball, which is in the possession of none other than Elder Guru. On their way to the Dragon Ball, they fly over a few slaughtered Namekian villages. This clearly is upsetting Piccolo, who couldn't fully understand his weird attachment to this world. When they arrive at their destination, they are greeted by Nail, and Piccolo immediately locks eyes with him. Piccolo's face contorts from calm to enrage. He walks up to Nail and grabs him by the collar. He yells that he should have done something to help their people. It's clear Nail is strong enough to fight in some capacity, so his inaction should be a crime. Nail simply looks back at Piccolo and tells him that's a lot of talk for the Namekian who split himself in half. Gohan breaks the two up, and Guru yells to Nail to let them in. Nail isn't very trusting of them, but does what the Guru says and brings the four fighters into his chamber, where he reads Gohan's mind. He understands that they too fear the potential of Frieza's wish and are here to help, so he grants them the Dragon Ball. But before they leave, he puts his hand on each of their heads, reading their minds to make sure they are worthy before unlocking their inner potential. Vegeta is the last one to step up, thinking it was a hoax before he sensed the power emanating from the others. Guru puts his hand on Vegeta's head and reads his mind.
Even compared to the Demon King, your heart is the least pure.
Vegeta scoffs, asking if he won't receive his power boost, but Guru unlocks his potential anyway.
However, you are more pure than you realize.
With all their powers unlocked, they go to take the Dragon Ball so they can leave. But before they can, Nail stops them. He asks Elder Guru something in secret, and the Grand Elder nods, commending Nail for his courage. Nail walks up to Piccolo and tells him he doesn't want to do nothing for his people, but defending the Grand Elder was his first and only responsibility. Piccolo apologizes for getting angered, returning to his home planet to find it massacred was not a feeling he expected to experience. Nail smiles and says he's happy he feels that way. It's time the Namekians save themselves. He has Piccolo place his hand on his chest, and the two Namekians merge into one being. The power the newly merged Namekian radiates is beyond anything the others could comprehend. Guru then calls Piccolo back over to him and asks if they are sure there isn't a wish they need to make on the Namekian Dragon Balls. Piccolo shakes his head no, and Elder Guru thinks he knows what's best to happen here.
All the people on Namek are my children. Please, save them with your Earth Dragon Balls and defeat the evil that has come to oppress us.
With that, Guru has Piccolo put his hand on him as well, and the two merge into one. The Dragon Ball that Goku had taken from above Guru is turned to stone immediately, and it's clear that Frieza won't be able to make his wish now. The power increase from absorbing Guru was notable, but nothing at all like what he received from merging with Nail. As the power unlocked from Guru's potential unlock continued to increase, the potential slowly unlocking in the bodies of our heroes over time, it's clear they are far beyond what they were in the original story. Goku asks Vegeta if they can beat Frieza now, and he thinks they can, so they head out to face him once and for all. But then they sense all of Frieza's forces heading to one location. Gohan remembers that direction was where the rest of the Dragon Balls were gathered, so he must have noticed they were turned to stone. Vegeta realizes they have a big issue. Frieza wouldn't just give up and leave. He's probably gathering his men to head to Earth to find their Dragon Balls. Goku thinks they should try and beat him to the Earth then, but Vegeta says he won't just leave a planet he's angry at. He'll destroy it before he goes. They might not escape in time if he does that. Piccolo says there's no more time for hiding. They have to fly to face Frieza before he can destroy the planet and leave. So they make their way to his ship. When moving at full speed, they are faster than any of Frieza's soldiers, so they are able to make it to his ship before he can leave. Once they arrive, they are confronted by those soldiers, but Piccolo and Vegeta blast them away without hesitation. Goku thinks this is a bit unnecessary, but he isn't really in a position to stop them. Eventually, Frieza is forced to come out of his ship. Already angered by the Dragon Balls turning to stone, he has no patience left when he sees Vegeta killing his men.
So, the arrogant little prince has returned. Seems you have some new friends as well. I will enjoy slaughtering them before your eyes.
Vegeta laughs that Frieza thinks these are his friends and charges the Emperor at full speed. After a Zenkai from his battle on Earth, training in 100 times gravity, and receiving a potential unlock from Guru, Vegeta now sits at a power level over 1 million, meaning he is far stronger than Frieza's first form. After being tossed around like a ragdoll by Vegeta, Frieza says he's had enough of these games and transforms into his second form, but even this form was struggling to outperform Vegeta as the two seem almost equal in power. He lets out a sigh and transforms once again, this time turning into his third form. Now he has power beyond Vegeta and begins to turn the tide of battle in his favor. Piccolo begins to mumble impatiently, and Gohan asks how Vegeta would be losing with so much power at his disposal. Piccolo tells Gohan that Vegeta's potential isn't fully unlocked yet. The power boost that Elder Guru gave them takes time to fully manifest, and Vegeta hasn't waited long enough for it to complete. With the knowledge of Guru within him now, Piccolo is right, of course. Had Vegeta waited a bit longer, his power level would be well over 3 million. Enough to at the very least tie with Frieza's third form, if not beat it, more than likely. Piccolo realizes Vegeta will die if they don't act, so he tells Gohan to ready a Senzu and Gohan to catch Vegeta. Piccolo jumps into the fight and tosses Vegeta out. Goku catches the Saiyan Prince and Gohan gives him a Senzu, bringing him back to full strength and more thanks to a Zenkai boost. Vegeta gets up to go back into the fight, but Gohan tells him what Piccolo said about the potential unlock, so he decides to wait for his powers to cap out before returning to the battle. Meanwhile, Piccolo is clearly enraged. He can feel Guru and Nail's torment in his head as a distant voice behind his conscious mind. The cry out for justice for the Namekian people, a chance for them to come back from the extinction they've nearly faced twice at this point. Piccolo carries their hopes in his fists, battering down Frieza with a barrage of punches and kicks before the tyrant even knows what's hitting him. Eventually, Frieza has had enough and decides to transform into his final form.
To think I'd be pushed this far by the filth of the universe. Just know you've received the rare pleasure of experiencing my true power on this day.
Frieza was at only half of his full power, and it immediately overwhelms Piccolo's senses. Goku can't fathom what he just felt, and Vegeta is completely speechless. Vegeta thinks all their efforts might just be in vain. Piccolo is seeming to hit his max power level around 5 million. Goku is at 3 million, but he could push it higher with the Kaioken depending on what its limit is now. Vegeta himself is at 4 million after his latest Senkai, and Gohan is unknown. Vegeta can clearly gauge everyone else's strength even when suppressed, but something about Gohan's power doesn't make sense. He can't get a read on how strong the kid actually is. While staring at Gohan, Vegeta has a perfect view as tears roll down the boy's face, and he screams Piccolo's name. Vegeta looks back to the battlefield where he sees Piccolo lying on the ground motionless. His ki is faint, but if they didn't get him quickly, he'd die. Vegeta thinks this might be for the best, since the Dragon Balls would die with him, but before he can even suggest that, Piccolo's body comes flying towards him. Gohan had charged into the battle in a fit of rage. In a moment that can only be described as overwhelming, Gohan unleashed his full power. His potential unlock has capped out, and he now sits at a power level of 70 million. No one else was even close. As I've said in the past, Gohan's power being locked away within himself is derived from his own fears and lack of confidence. However, a Gohan who enjoys fighting and lacks those weaknesses is able to access most of his true power more easily, which leads to a bigger boost from training and potential unlocks. Gohan is putting Frieza on the back foot. The Emperor hadn't expected the child to be the adversary he'd have to fear the most, but luckily, he has a plan. Frieza flies above Gohan and launches a death ball at the planet. If Gohan doesn't intercept it, the planet will explode immediately. So, Gohan stands below the attack to catch it, but something isn't right. Even if it would take him a moment to do so, Gohan still wouldn't be taken out by this attack. As this is happening, Piccolo awakens after eating a senzu and tells Goku to attack Frieza now. Goku looks up and sees Frieza is powering up further, entering his 100% final form, a complete last resort. Goku quickly activates a Kaioken times 20 and flies towards Frieza, but he's too late. By the time Goku reaches Frieza, the Death Ball is destroyed and Frieza is at full power, a power level of 120 million. Even seeing how hopeless it truly is, Goku and Gohan continue to fight Frieza, both giving it everything they have in order to win. But there's just nothing they can do at this point. Frieza realizes his stamina won't last much longer if he has to keep using this form, so he decides to quickly eliminate these two so he can revert to only using half his true power. With a single death beam, Frieza pierces Gohan's heart. If it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have been pushed to the brink. So, as Gohan's body falls from the sky, Goku can do nothing but watch in horror. Piccolo catches Gohan and is upset at himself as well when he sees the boy is dead in his arms. Goku's grief, of course, leads to rage, and in turn, he becomes the Super Saiyan that Frieza had always feared. Vegeta is stunned by Goku's transformation, realizing what the form is immediately. The prince begins to laugh maniacally and screams to Frieza that the battle is over. Piccolo can sense it too. With Goku's new power, Frieza doesn't stand a chance, and worse yet for Frieza is the fact that his power is beginning to drop. The stamina required to maintain his 100% form is failing. The battle is one-sided and brutal. Goku feels no sympathy for Frieza. He gives him one chance to leave with his life, and Frieza rejects that mercy, attacking Goku the moment he sees an opening, and Goku ends him right then and there. With Frieza defeated, Goku takes Gohan's body from Piccolo. He takes the capsules from his pocket and pops open their ship. Solemnly, Goku boards the ship with the remains of his son. Piccolo and Vegeta follow suit. Once home, they had to wait for the Dragon Balls to reactivate before they could revive Gohan and the Namekians. Piccolo specifically asks Shenron to undo all the negative changes brought on by Frieza and his men. This restored Planet Namek entirely, aside from Nail and Guru, who remained a part of Piccolo. This even removed Frieza's ship, soldiers, and remains from the planet, meaning King Cold would never find his son's corpse or the Namekians. Finally, this meant Gohan was revived as well. Since his body is on Earth, he was revived there. And so, our story ends with everyone alive and well and back on Earth. But with the threat of the androids looming, would they truly be safe? We'll have to find out in the next part. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Only 20% of the people who watch these videos are actually subscribed. And thank you so very much for watching.